Big blunts, dope boys wanna smoke with me. Now we ride double M's through the whole city. Niggas talking down, but they always feel me. A 9-figure nigga, all I wanna talk is business. I seen a big mouth get a closed casket. Self-made, took over the whole racket. A kilo after kilo, see who moved the most. 200-foot yacht, she wanna see the coast.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Goofy Investing, where we talk about investing in the stock market. This video is going to be about a Nvts update, all right? You've noticed the stock is running up dramatically, all right? If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, see what I got to offer. Take this journey with me to my journey to scaling $1 million, all right? So, Nvts, all right? If you refer back to my historical history on Nvts throughout my channel, I've already, I've expressed this is the winner, all right? 7 months ago, did I tell the future, all right, on a Patreon promotional, all right? I even put out 1 month ago, I put out a last chance for the Patreon update, all right? And I put out a little promotional for that to get in get in before my Patreon prices rose, all right? 6 months ago, I've identified and I've even put out a video, a future growth monster that Nvts is. Well, look at this stock 6 months ago, all right? It was $1.82, $1.82 a share. Fast forward 6 months later, it's $14.66 a share. All right. I've expressed 2 months ago, I see what they all don't see, $20. And then shortly before that, I told YouTube and I told everybody why I'm not selling a share. All right. And even then, before that, we were in the war room. All right. I was talking about global trade tariffs, how the business model works. All right. I told 11 months ago, I said, this is, Nvts can make me millions. Here's the investment proposition. All right. And then 2 months ago, I told you that I had made the tough decision to sell covered calls against the equity. This video will give you an update on what's going on with that as well. All right. And even then, I address insider selling, corporate leadership. I go all over it. While we were in the war room, while the stock was around $1.82, March 16th, $2, whatever. Me and my loonies were in the war room and operations, pricing the intellectual property. I was explaining and teaching how to price IP and tech and the timelines thereof and how that all works as an investor, a high growth investor, on a whole nother level that, quite frankly, a lot of people just don't get. I teach you how to do this on my Patreon. All right. And then with that, hey, $10 a month, you really can't beat it. I teach you how to price IP tech, do price targeting, stock analysis. Even now, the next play is happening, which is SEMrush. I'm pricing the IP, doing price targeting, this and that, keeping my Patreon up to date on what's going on. All right. Free trial. All right. Try that out. That's not going to last forever. So check that out. All right. So Nvts, let's go over what's going on. All right. So I sold covered calls against it. But notice, I sold covered calls against it in January, all right, to expire in January at $10 strikes. My projections were we were going to float around these ranges, but I was not anticipating this actual next tranche of run, all right? So you always leave yourself outs, like in poker, all right? I decided to roll my stock options, all right? We'll pull up the portfolio. Oh, I'm sorry, those are the buy lots. We'll pull up my portfolio here, maximize this a little. My Nvts position, I told you guys I was not selling a share. I still own 6,122 shares, cost basis $2.38 a share. I've invested $14,548.79 into this actual position. The position right now, the position's current value of my stock is $89,749.41. So On the run, when the equity was around 15, 14 and a half, $15, I rolled my stock options. We did a new deal, $25 strike to expire January of 2028. All right. And why have I decided to hedge the position? Well, I'll tell you why. We'll pull up my price targeting from years ago. All right. I've been keeping my eyes out on this company for years. Let me pull up my buy lots real quick and I'll show you. Here are all my buy lots for the position of Nvts. I started positioning into it lightly in January of 2024 when it was $5.86. Notice these initial tranches of buys. I wasn't going heavy. All right, couple hundred here, 1,000 there, 1,000 there, 1,000 here, etc. Equity started dropping into the twos. I started doing 2,000 buy lots or $2,000 buy orders, and then tranches thereof. And then I just kept positioning in all the way up to May 21st of 2025. All right. So I've been positioning into this equity for a while. I finished off and capped out my position May 21st of 2025. That's June, July, August, September, October. So about 5 months it's been since I've actually closed out this position. All right. And a run started on it. So you can pause the screen, maximize, look at these buy lots or whatever. All right. So with the position going back to it, why have I decided to do a two-legged roll stock option move on this equity? We'll pull up the price targeting that was conducted in 2023. Notice maybe just because, so in 2023 I was doing analysis and price targeting, and then execution of buy lots started in 2024. Okay, I decided, and I rarely decide to position into stocks this early prior to profitability. But with Navitas, I made an exception. All right, and you can see now why I made an exception. But with that, you have to keep true to the actual projections of your price targeting. All right, and what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the bull case because the stock is pricing in the bull case. All right. On the bull case, I got them, up to 75 by the end, $75 a share by the end of 2028. And on the low side of 2028, I got them at $15 a share. The equity right now in 2025 is pricing in 60 times my projections by the end of 2028 on the low side. And that's on my bull case. But in order to actually justify these prices, you have to have the sales fundamentals to back it. So let's go to the sales fundamentals. We'll go here. We'll talk more about the hedge and how it works. Earnings consensus estimates for the equity. We're losing 41% in sales growth this year. Last earnings call, the management guided that execution on Nvidia and updating their data processing centers is not going to happen until 2027. So I'm not going to experience sales growth for years. This is a fundamental disconnect between time, all right? Between time and performance of expectations, my expectations as a shareholder. Now, what Mr. Market and the market decides to do is what Mr. Market and the market decides to do. If they want to price in the future expectations, potential IP, and etc. that's been identified by the market years out, and front load all of that into the equity and the equity's pricing, I'm going to make the stock yield. I'm going to sell covered calls. I'm going to hedge and minimize risk because at these prices, it's high risk, my friends. All right. By the end of 2028, analyst consensus estimates got them doing 165 million. We'll go back to my price targeting On my bull case alone, I had them doing 1.3 billion. All right. So on my fundamental projections, I'm off. And on the pricing of the equity, the market is off. This disconnect is a time and performance disconnect between everybody, even myself, I'll admit. But just because you get bad news and your expectations from the management is not good and the performance of sales is not good doesn't mean you lose the faith. It doesn't mean that you just sell your stock. I don't sell my stock. All right. You don't sell bright futures and you don't sell ownership into great companies. All right. You hold them. And that's exactly what I've intended to do. All right. So, therefore, when the equity hit around $15, the low end of my bull range on my price targeting, we'll go back to the chart. We'll look at the historicals. We had a breakout here at a top out over the $10 mark. And then what do you know? Right here, this little flat portion near IPO, okay? We got good heavy resistance here at 1502. And then we got top out resistance at around 19. All right. So right when the equity hit around 15, I decided to roll my stock options. We'll go back to my position. And then I decided to roll it out up to $25 strikes to expire January of 2028. All right. So I believe that this is a fundamental move. I get to hedge the position. I raise a little capital. I get 43,000 worth of hedge protection. And what does this hedge do? All right. So what it does, one, it secures me holding my stock and my ownership. Two, I get paid and I get protection from the downside. And three, once again, it reiterates, it forces me to hold the equity and stay true to my own thesis and my own projections. Okay. So I'm going to hold this throughout the 2027 execution era of the NVIDIA data center upgrades and etc. to their blueprints. And meanwhile, the deal is by the end of 20 or by the beginning of 2028, if the stock is over $25 a share, if I get bought out per the contract agreement, I get paid $25 a share worth of equity. We'll multiply that by 6,100. That's 152,500. We'll divide that from my initial cost basis. There's the 10x. All right. I've secured the 10x within 2 years at a minimum. And that's not including the premiums, which is about 12,000. Remember, I had a roll, and the actual premium from the roll was $7,855. Okay. So there's that. All right. And what's the effect of the hedge? Okay. So if just yesterday, equity touched its $15 or the day before it touched its $15, and I even went on to my Patreon here. Okay. And then I even talked about the roll. All right. You could check that out after you check out the free trial. But going back to it, if the equity went down yesterday $5,938 and it was down 6.21%, my hedge kicked in to where I gained $6,588. Okay. This protects my equity. This protects my cost basis, or it protects my portfolio from the wild swing, and it dramatically reduces risk. Meanwhile, you can probably guess where this call premium is going. Typically, when I make a big move in the portfolio, I don't really do anything the rest of that week. Okay. All right. It's an erratic market. I made a big move. I'm taking a break. All right. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Why I hedged it, and so forth. Once again, check out the Patreon, get the value and the inside scoop on what I'm doing next. Obviously, you all should know that I'm building out the SEMrush position, and we're doing all the work in the war room, just like we did with Nvts. Okay, we're just going to another phase. I'm bullish on Nvts. I believe in the company. I believe in the investment proposition of several years, and it's going to be a great journey. If you're watching this video and you're a Nvts investor that is sold out around these levels, lesson learned: don't sell your stock. All right. You never sell your stock. All right. That's the big secret of all of this. All right. But to tell you the truth, that's more of an educational purpose statement. All right. Not financial advice. You do what you want, and so forth. And I'm going to do what I want. This channel is about what I'm doing and so forth. All right. Thank you all for your support. Comment down below. What do you think about the whole situation? And so forth. Like and subscribe to the video. Comment down, I'm subscribed. I will comment back. Thank you all for your support. I hope you all are learning something out of this channel. I love y'all, and take it easy.